Well, hello there, and welcome to a video that isn't about a video game. Yes, E3 is over. I am recording this on, Friday, I think it is. Yes, it's Friday. And yeah, there was some interesting stuff on E3 this year. I have the schedule of the different press conferences right in front of me. I will go through them. I might forget about some things because I'm doing this all out of my head. I haven't written anything down. So, yes. So, just a quick bit of info here because I was just editing this whole thing down. This will now be a podcast because I can't be bothered to put the whole videos, everything in. I really don't have the time for that because I still need to do stuff for school, even though I'm basically through with it. There's still one project that I need to get done until Monday, and it's an important one, and it would also take way too much time to render and upload this, because as you can see, this video is over an hour long, and just having to cut all the bits in, because this would really be a lot of editing, and I really don't have the time for that, and I also wouldn't be able to upload that because the file size would just be way too big. I just did about 10 minutes and it already took me over an hour to just get those 10 minutes of video done, so that would equal in about 6-7 hours of editing. And, you know, it's currently 9 o'clock in the evening, and, yeah, this is just a podcast, so just ignore it when I'm saying I'm putting stuff on the screen right now. Just when it comes to the part of Just Cause 3, then I will put the links on there on the screen. Hopefully we'll put them on there, they will be in the description. So, yes, now, it'll be a podcast, you can listen to it, and you can do other stuff while listening to it. Anyway, that's everything I gotta say. The first conference was Bethesda, which was on Sunday in LA. I watched it at, 3 o'clock in the morning, so yeah, my biorhythm is a little bit off, but, anyway, yeah, what did they announce? Like, obviously, I will start off with the biggest and most interesting thing. Fallout 4, which is looking really good. It's a little bit brighter than, the last one, but, I think they said something why it's, like, bright and stuff. I can't remember what that was. Anyway, it has a lot of gun customization. It's, as you will probably be able to see on the screen right now, because I will put stuff on there, you know, so you don't have to just watch a black screen. Anyway, yeah, lots of gun customization. The only thing that I'm kind of concerned about with that is that you will spend a lot of time making a gun, and then you kill an enemy, and he will just drop something that's far better than the thing you craft, and then you throw that away and you use the drops, but, you know, we'll see how that goes. You can build your own houses, again, great thing, I quite like that in Skyrim, actually, and, seeing that in Fallout, it's optional, as the gun crafting, the whole building your own house, that's all optional, you can just play the game without that, but I think it looks quite nice, reminds me of the system they have in Rust. And yes, I'm looking forward to playing that game. Oh yeah, and for those who haven't seen it yet, the game starts off before the actual, you know, nuclear bombs go off and everything. And yeah, that looks quite interesting, and we'll see how that will turn out. The game comes out in December? No, what's the one? The month before December, I can't remember the name. Yes, thank you, Brain, for working so well today. Anyway, what else did I have? Doom 4, which I'm honestly not too interested in. It's like, yeah, you know, Doom is it's a game. Back when it first came out, it was revolutionary because nothing quite like that existed before. But nowadays, it doesn't really have a story. It's just all, it's just a lot of gore and guns, and that's it basically. And I don't really know if I'm going to play that or not. It didn't look too bad, but it seemed a little bit pre-rendered, everything, you know. So I don't think the video that they have shown off looks, you know, it won't look as good as the stuff that they showed. Anyway, anything else that they announced? Nothing interesting really. So yeah, basically Fallout 4, which I'm really looking forward to. I will definitely make a video on that as soon as it comes out. The next conference was Microsoft, or actually Xbox. For some reason they called it Xbox even though it was dubbed Microsoft on all the schedules. Anyway, that was at 9:30 in the morning, again in LA. For me it was 6:30 even in the evening. I wasn't really interested in that. It's like the whole presentation wasn't really good. Like the guy who presented Fallout 4, absolutely brilliant. The way he talked and presented everything, you know. Then Xbox, it was a bit, there was nothing I was really interested in. And the whole conference was just like, yeah, you know, it felt kinda that from the beginning on. When it comes to the Xbox conference, what they announced, the one thing, when they first said it, I was really hyped for it, but then as they were going along with it, it kinda got worse and worse. The backwards I can't pronounce that word, compatibility or whatever. Anyway, yes, so the Xbox One will play 360 games. The thing is, at first that sounded bloody brilliant. And if it was just, you know, take whatever games you have, put them in your Xbox One and it will play them, that would be great. The problem is that's not how it works. There's a very, very, very short list. I think Banjo-Kazooie was on there, which is one of the very few games that might actually be interesting, but the thing is, I own an Xbox 360 and I can play all my 360 games on there, and I don't have an Xbox One, so I'm not really interested in that. And the list is way too short for that to be interesting for anyone, really. If they add more and more games to that list as we go along, that might be worth having a look into, but right now not really. Then they announced the Xbox One Elite controller, or whatever the hell it was called, which is basically the Xbox One controller just with some more buttons on the back. Apparently it's a little more precise. The price is a little bit higher. I think it was 140 euros or dollars, one of those two, can't remember. And yeah, it will work with Windows 10, they said. So I'm not quite sure, but it should work with a normal wireless adapter, which it doesn't come with, just as the normal Xbox One 360 controllers. That's nothing new. But honestly, I wouldn't spend that much money on a controller because I have my 360 controller right here and it still works fine. And you know, just it's nothing, again, nothing really interesting. There wasn't anything particularly important or anything. They did something with Halo 5 again. That's just no. They announced a new game, which was I think it's called Recore, which looked interesting. So basically, in the trailer there was this Yeah, you will see that on the screen right now. There was this boy with this little, you know, mechanic dog thingy, which had this blue glowing core in the middle. And basically the dog died, so the boy took the blue core and just put in his giant robot. So I might have a look into that. But I won't do that here. I won't buy that game. I will play it at friends' houses if any of my friends get that game, because you know it's an Xbox exclusive, and I won't buy an Xbox just for one game that I might be interested in. But yeah, that was Forza Motorsport 6. That's all I gotta say about that, because again, it's Forza, it's, not interested in that. And, oh, there was one thing that I was like genuinely, yes, even after they were through with it, where I was like, that might actually be worth buying. It's the Rare Replay collection. It's like, it's just a box. It will cost like $30. It comes out this August, and it contains a lot of old games like Conker's Bad Fur Day, GoldenEye, or Donkey Kong. It will come out this August. It will cost $30, and I'm trying to remember which games will be included. I think Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I think RC Pro-Am and Battletoads might be in there, but yeah, that genuinely looks interesting, because it's old games, it's proper good games, it's way better than everything that's getting released for the Xbox One nowadays. So yeah, if you own an Xbox One and if you don't have any good games for it, which is very likely, go and buy that box this August, $30, it's totally worth it. So yes, oh! Then, my brain's coming up with things that happened, and, another thing that was, really interesting was the Minecraft HoloLens. Well, the HoloLens shown off using Minecraft. If you don't know what that is, again, you can see it on screen right now. It's basically a pair of glasses, you put that on, and it makes things appear in 3D. They, I don't know how it works. I will have a look into that at some point, because I'm really interested in that. And yeah, basically you can play God. You can see where, if you're playing multiplayer, you can see where other people are. You can zoom in on things, and you can basically project a Minecraft world, or a part of a Minecraft world, onto a table or a wall or wherever you want to. So, yeah, I think that's all of the good things they had. Then there was something about the next Tomb Raider game, which looked very much like the last one. I think the whole gameplay they showed off was mostly, you know, it consisted of pressing like 3 or 4 buttons. That was all the gameplay they had. Everything else was automated. And so, yeah, I'm not too interested in that either. And then there was something about Gears of War 4. Or actually, it's called Gears 4. Just Gears 4, not Gears of War. Which is a little bit of a stupid title, I think. But, yeah, that's just, you know, nothing very interesting. Then after that there was EA, which was at 1 PM in LA, and here at 10 PM. what did EA have? Sorry, I was a little bit of a break between last sentence I said and this. So I don't know where I was anymore. I just start over. Anyway, yes, EA's conference. The first thing they announced was, I think, the new Need for Speed, which I'm sort of looking forward to, but also it's kinda. EA, they still think always online is a good idea, and honestly, could someone tell them that that isn't a good idea, that that's a shit idea? And yeah, but it looks quite nice because of lots of customization, so exactly what everybody wanted, and honestly, if it's always online, if it's a great game and if it's exactly everything everybody wants, then I can look over the whole always online thing. If not, I will tear their asses apart for doing that. And for fucking up a series that I really, really like. Well, they already did, but you know, this time they said they were going to fix it. And if they don't, I'm gonna be very, very mad. Anyway, yes, that's coming back this November. And yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. The new Star Wars Battlefront, which is just called Star Wars Battlefront, which is a little bit shit, because there already was a Star Wars Battlefront. That was the first one. I hate it when they don't. It's like, it's Star Wars Battlefront 3. Make a 3 behind that fucking title. Or call it Reboot, or whatever the hell you want. You know, but just. They did the same thing with Need for Speed. It's just called Need for Speed. You know? And it's like, Anyway, yes, that was something that I was really hyped when I first heard about it. Which was way back, I think 2 years back or so when I announced this. Or a year or two back they announced this. Anyway, yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that. I'm not going to buy it, I'm not going to bother playing it, because it's small maps, it's small closed off areas and just very, very few people. They showed off Hoth, and where you come out of the hangar, you probably all know what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about the one that you're seeing right now, because as you can see right now, it's very closed off. Back in Battlefront 2, you came out of there, and it was just giant, plain fields, and it was just so amazing. Then with the XL mode, with 128 players on each side. That was just amazing. You had people everywhere. And now it's just like, fucking 8080s on rails, really? And it's like, no. It looks great. Yes, it does look great. But it's just, it's not what I want. This could look like it came out in 2010. As long as it was a great game, I would buy it. But no. And yeah, that was sort of no. Anyway, they announced Mass Effect 4, or what was it called? I think Mass Effect Andromeda. And that will be coming back holiday 2016. And yeah, they didn't show off a whole lot of that. And I don't really know what to think of that. If they make it like Mass Effect 3, then yeah, well, fuck that. If it's going to be like 1 or 2, then yay, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Mirror's Edge, actually now isn't called just Mirror's Edge anymore. That's some good news. It's called Mirror's Edge Cataclysm, and they completely removed the gunplay, so you don't kill anyone during the whole game. That is very, very good news. I really like the first Mirror's Edge, and I'm looking forward to this. The trailer, what they showed off was a lot of combat and very few scenes of actual gameplay of her running around doing parkour. But just the news that they removed the gunplay. The words are a little bit yes, that they removed gunplay. It sounds quite nice, and they also said that it was going to be less combat in total. So I am really looking forward to playing that game. February 2016 that is going to come out. So yes. Anything else? They had play on stage for 3 minutes. Yeah, they had Pele on stage for 3 minutes, which wasn't very interesting. And they talked about sports stuff, which I am not interested in. That was just a bit of torture for me watching that. And there was this one game which looked really cute and everything, Unravel. This with this little guy, this little red guy made out of wool, and he constantly, the one thing is there's constantly a bit of wool coming out of his bag, and it would just be the best thing if. It would be a little bit sad if at the end of the game it was just like he completely unraveled and died. Just because he lost all his wool throughout the game. But that looked cute, and I'll actually have a go at that too. I don't know if they announced when it was going to come out. But anyway, yes. The next conference was Ubisoft, which was at my tablet's gone. Come on. I want to know the times. Yes, Ubisoft was at 3 p.m. in LA and at 12 a.m. So at midnight here. So what did they announce? Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Well, that was already announced. But it was a bit more information. But again, nothing I'm interested in. After they fucked up Assassin's Creed Unity, I haven't forgiven them for that. Well, I'm not really into Assassin's Creed, apart from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which was absolutely brilliant. I want more games with boats and stuff. Oh yes, they started off really well. Their conference was just Ubisoft's presentation. Their conference was just really good. They dropped off the further they were going on, but they started off really well, while Microsoft Xbox just was dead from the beginning, because they announced a new South Park game, which I'm really looking forward to, and this time it isn't them playing the whole wizards and stuff. God, I can't remember what the episode where that originally came from was called. It's now they are playing superheroes, and I'm really looking forward to that. It was like, Trey Parker and Matt Stone were there, and they announced the game, and it was like, yes, especially because they said after the last one, they said they weren't going to make another video game. And then they just start off by announcing one. And it's just, that was amazing. And the other thing they had was, For Honor. Yes, that was the second game that no one knew about. Those were the two games they started off with, the new South Park and For Honor, and it was just amazing. And it's because For Honor is like it's a medieval fighting game, you know. But what they did is it's not only you know, player controlled. You know, it's they did something like Titanfall did. So it's that they have the players, which are obviously the strongest ones, where you have to actually fight, where the fight's going on a bit longer. But then they also have the AI, and those are, you know, just running around. So it's massive battles, but it's actually just 6 or 12 people playing. I know it was 6 on I think it was 6 on either side. Anyway, yeah, and their presentation was just great. It was Aisha Tyler. Just, she's brilliant, and it's, oh my god, even though I wasn't that looking forward to the conference, it turned out great. And yeah, The Division got a release date. I think it's March 8th, 2016. So I'm just telling you that for all those who are interested in that game. I personally am not. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Rainbow Six Siege. I think that's coming on October 13th. The multiplayer beta running starting at somewhere around the end of September 24th or 25th. And yeah, that is something that I am looking forward to, because walls aren't covered in that game. They have a destruction engine, so basically you can just blow through a wall and just go straight for the target. That's quite nice, and it was a game, since it was first announced, I was actually, you know, looking forward to it. It's just, I'm still interested in it, so, you know. And I think that's, oh yes, the Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, God, Wildlands, I think it's called. That looked interesting, because giant open world and you're all around the globe and everything, and you know, Tom Clancy games aren't bad, so that's something. I'm gonna give that a go as soon as that comes out, but I don't think they gave us a release date quite yet. Oh yes, one more thing that I forgot with the whole Ubisoft thingy. I think they announced the new Trackmania. So that's something I'm also a little bit hyped for, because it's been a while since I played a Trackmania game. The first one I played was the original one. I still got the boxed version of that standing over there. And I think there was this one free one that they released at some point. And I played that, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to more Trackmania, because you can just build your own racetracks and everything. And it's just, yeah, that's gonna be quite a nice thing. I can't remember the release date though, so, or I don't know if it has a release date quite yet. But that's gonna be interesting. As soon as that comes out again, I will do a video on that if I remember doing that. I probably won't. But anyway, well, let's move on with the next conference. The conference that came after that was Sony, which was at 3 a.m. in the morning, or at 6 p.m. in Los Angeles. The start of the Sony conference was pretty much the best announcement of the entire E3. I mean, I'm hyped for Fallout 4 and everything, I'm a big fan of the series, but they announced The Last Guardian. That was the first game they started off with, and that was just amazing. I am, like, if you've never played Shadow of the Colossus, then go and get it. There is an HD remake available for PS3. If you've never played that game, go and play it now. It's just the best game in existence, honestly. It is my favorite game of all time, and it earned that title. And The Last Guardian is a game that they announced God knows how long ago. And they cancelled it and re-announced it and cancelled it and re-announced it a few times. But now this is official. This is officially announced. They showed off gameplay. And that game, it's just, I will buy a PS4 just to play this one game. It's like, yes, finally. So, yeah. And the next thing was, Horizon Zero Dawn. Which is sort of, mecha dinos. It's in a prehistoric era, I think. No, wait, oh, I think I remember how it was. Yes, it's post-apocalyptic, so basically, it plays in the future, but everything is sort of gone backwards a bit. The whole humans and everything. Just they're mecha dinos running around for whatever reason. That, I don't know, might be interesting, but it's just, you know, fighting giant enemies and everything. I'm not entirely sure if that's gonna be a good game or not, but I'll have a look into that as well. They announced a new Hitman, and this time they want to go back to the roots, more to this sort of sandboxy thing. And I'm really looking forward to that after they fucked up the last one. Because the last one was completely... no. I played that for 1 hour and I deinstalled it afterwards just because it was such an utter pile of ass. And what they said is that they were going to do a better job this time, basically. And I really hope that they are actually doing that they will do a proper Hitman game where you can go and, you know, not kill anyone apart from your target, and it's just... that's something I'm really looking forward to. Oh yes, and in the trailer, one thing they did, they stayed to their roots. I will show that on the screen right now. That happened before in... I don't know which one, but one of the item descriptions was the same thing, and I just laughed my ass off as I saw that. That's quite amazing, and I think they did it on purpose this time. But, yeah, you know, I'm kinda hyped for that. They announced Street Fighter V early next year, so, yeah, I think March or July 2016 is when that comes out, so yeah, I'm not really interested in that. They showed off No Man's Sky, which is, I don't know, it seems interesting, but it's also, I don't know, I'd much rather play like Star Citizen, something like that. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Then there was Dreams from the guys who made Little Big Planet, so Media Molecule, and I don't really know what to think about that. And I'm not gonna have too much of a look into that. If it comes out and everybody says this is the best game ever, I'm gonna play it. Otherwise, no. They announced some more shit related to Destiny that I am really not interested in. I didn't listen to that. I was just getting something to drink when they started talking about Destiny. Then, what happened was quite amazing. First, they announced a remake of Final Fantasy VII. And I am so gonna play that. I am going to get this game because it's been quite a while since I played Final Fantasy VII. And Final Fantasy VII is definitely the best Final Fantasy out there. You know, it's 7, 10, and 8 wasn't bad either, but it's like 7 and 10 are the best ones. And it's just, it looks amazing and everything, and oh my god, yeah, you know, they gave me a reason to buy a PlayStation 4 this year. Something that Xbox didn't do, you know. And then Shenmue. If you've never played this game, it's a game in which you had to wait for buses in real time. Many people never heard of that game before for some reason, even though Shenmue 1 and 2 were great, and this game was funded. It's already funded. So the funding started after they announced it, and I think within an hour or so it already was at over $500,000. And it was funded, I think, the next morning or the next day at least. And I'm looking forward to that too. They had some Project Morpheus stuff, which I'm not really interested in, because if I'm ever going to get anything related to virtual reality, it's going to be an Oculus. And they ended the presentation on Uncharted 4, which was quite amazing, because the first time they started that presentation, it just stopped. Nathan Drake was just standing there, not moving, and then they had to restart it, which was quite nice. But that actually showed off that was running live, and that wasn't just a pre-rendered video, which I think is quite nice. Then the next thing was the Nintendo Digital event, which was just pure torture to sit through. It was 1 hour of nothing. It's just, you know, I was like, 10 more minutes of this and I'm going to take my SNES controller and hang myself with the cable of that damn thing. It's just, no. And they didn't talk about the, because they said that there was going to be a new console, or well, I think it was leaked that there was going to be a new console, because the Wii U was such a piece of shit that no one really wanted to buy that. And yeah, they didn't say anything about a new console or anything. They just announced more of the same. It's just Super Mario Tennis and stuff like that, or Paper Mario and 3D Mario sort of together. The best thing of that presentation, it wasn't even live, it was just them talking about stuff for way too long. The best thing about the Nintendo Digital event was the Muppets that they had in there. It was a little bit creepy, but it was also quite nice, so I'm not gonna bother talking about that for too long. That was at 9 AM in the morning. The next one after that was Square Enix, one that I'm really looking forward to, because I really like Square Enix. Many people don't even know how many games Square Enix makes or has made, and how many great games they've made. So the first one they started off with was the one that I was looking forward to the most. It's my second favorite game that was announced at E3. My absolute favorite, obviously, being The Last Guardian. Then there's Just Cause 3 on number 2, and Just Cause 3. if you've never played Just Cause 1, again, it's the same as with Shadow of the Colossus. Go and get that game now. Play it. Just... It's a giant open world game, and what they added for this game is a destruction engine, something that they didn't. Like, you can destroy way more stuff, obviously. In Just Cause 2 you were able to destroy statues and stuff like that. But that is something that really looks that I'm really looking forward to. And Nerdcube, who has already played this game, already said that it's all working fine and everything. And I'm just going to thrust him with that and say, go and pre-order that game as soon as possible, because you can't really go wrong with that. It's an amazing game and all, and like Just Cause 2 is like my second favorite game right after Shadow of the Colossus, and it's such an amazing thing, and just I can't really say much about it other than it's the most amazing thing ever. And you know, just watch the trailer, you are seeing a bit of it right now, but there will be a link to the actual full trailer. In the upper right corner of the screen right now, and in the upper left corner there will be a link to a video to the whole presentation, because Square Enix, after their announcement, they did another stream where they showed off more of the game, and just watch both of those. And yeah, what else did they? I'm just trying to get other stuff together that they did, because it's Square Enix is basically just Cause 3. That's all that I was thinking about for an entire bloody conference. Oh yeah, obviously they talked a bit more about Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Worlds, which isn't really interesting or anything, so I'm not going to talk about that. It was just because they were saying that was just the best thing, because they were talking about a new Final Fantasy, and everyone was like, Final Fantasy 15, that's going to be Final Fantasy 15, and this Final Fantasy Worlds shit, and that was just the best thing. Obviously, Square Enix, they talked a bit more about Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I already said I wasn't interested in. Then Final Fantasy VII remake, it's called World of Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy Worlds. And then there was the new Hitman thingy. Oh yes, the Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which will be a sequel to Deus Ex Human Revolution, which is basically it's just they completely crossed out the Deus Ex The Fall, because that was such another piece of shit, and that looks quite nice, because I really like Deus Ex. You know, you can go through the entire game without killing anyone apart from the bosses, and it's just like, yes, I'm all for that. I'm looking forward to that. And I think they showed actual gameplay of that, if I remember correctly. And then what else did they do? Yes, Tomb Raider Go, which is going to be like, they announced Tomb Raider Go, which is going to be like Hitman Go. And I actually played that game like 2 hours before that conference, and Hitman Go is really nice game. It's like Hitman, just as a board game. It's available for Android and iOS, so yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of mobile games, but that's actually a good one. So if you want to spend your money on something, then on any sort of mobile games, then go and get Hitman Go. It's really nice one. And Tomb Raider is going to be the same, and that might be interesting, especially if they put some more, puzzle mechanics in there. So that's totally something I am looking forward to. A sequel to Nier was announced, which everybody was hyped about. Problem is, I never played the original game. So, yeah. It's made by Platinum Games, so I might have a go at the first one, at the original game, and talk about that a little more later on, because apparently that is a bloody good game that everybody should have played, but I didn't, I sort of missed that out. Anyway, they talked about Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, which will be a mobile game, so, yeah, and it's not going to be the good sort of mobile game, I think, so I'm not going to talk more about that. Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness. If you've never played Star Ocean, you should totally do that. Those are some great games. So basically, the last one I played, at the end of the game, you basically kill God. Just to give you a little bit of, just so you know what's going on in those games. Yeah, and, I think it's going to be released in 2016, and I'm looking forward to that. And then they talked a bit more about Final Fantasy. I think they made some sort of app for that. And then there was something called Project Setsuna, which will be released in 2016. And so that's something that might be interesting, but yet again, I don't quite know if I'm looking forward to that or not. But yeah, that was pretty much everything Square Enix did covered. And then after that, there was the PC Gaming Show, which it was like everybody was like, we don't know how this is going to be, because we've never seen that before, and it turned out to be incredibly boring and dull. They made it like a talk show, so it's not like it's their fault for being bad at it. It's just they didn't really know what to do because they've never done it before. The only thing that I remembered was from that is that they announced American Truck Simulator, which I'm looking forward to because I really liked Euro Truck Simulator 2. One of the very few simulator games that I actually like. And American Truck Simulator is apparently going to be just like that, and so I'm hyped for that as well. And everything else was sort of not really there because during the PC Gamer event, Nerdcube, Daniel Hardcastle, and that's the stream that I was watching. So basically what they did was they got hashtag have a wank trending on Twitter worldwide, and so basically that's that's everything I can remember from that very last stream. So yes, we want to get some more news about what they announced. You're gonna have to get them somewhere else because I really wasn't paying attention to that. Anyway, I think that's oh no, wait. One more thing is after the Sony or after the Square Enix, I think it was after the Sony conference. They were going on about Gang Beats, and Gang Beats got a new update, a very new and shiny version. And if you want to play that, You just have to go and go to Steam, you know, right click on the on GameBeats, and then go to betas, and then activate the unstable beta, the current one, and then you can play that. And I think that's pretty much everything. So yes, all the links to the thingies, to the trailers and everything, should be in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and yeah, the next week's video will just be a normal video about some game I don't quite know what to play yet. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, well, see you next video. Next week. Sorry, my brain's going a bit weird. Bye!